All right, what you are looking at here is the formula for the surface area of a rectangular prism. And in this problem, what we want to do is take this literal equation that has more than one variable. We got length, height, surface area. And we want to rewrite this equation out so that it's equal to L, or so that we can figure out what length is equal to. So we need to isolate L from everything else on the right side. So what I always tell my students to do on a literal equation like this is I say draw the line first, set it by itself. That's our goal. Get L all by itself. So how are we going to push all these other pieces of information to the other side? It's quite simple. We use inverse operations. So just like you would in a two-step, a multi-step equation, we need to inverse operate to eliminate. So I'm looking at the three terms that I have on the right side. I got 2LW, 2LH, and 2WH. So what I want to do is I want to remove this term over here first. The reason that this term needs to go away first is it's the only term over here that does not have an L in it. So we can just do the opposite of adding 2WH. We're going to subtract 2WH, and that will eliminate. That means I need to take away 2WH over on the left side. These are not like terms, so we need to keep them separated. S minus 2WH equals 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height. Okay, we're getting closer to having L isolated on the right side, but we need to get rid of the 2 and the W. We also need to get rid of the 2 and the H. Okay, each of these terms has an L in them. This is a tricky step. It's kind of like undoing the distributive property. Remember what the distributive property tells us is that we got some term multiplied by both terms on the inside of the parentheses. So what I want to do is I want to group together 2W and 2H in parentheses. I'm going to say 2W plus 2H in parentheses. Now notice what I did here. All I did is wrote each of these terms out, but without the L's, okay? Because L is being multiplied by both parts. L is being multiplied by both parts. So we can just take that L outside of the parentheses. It's like undoing the distributive property. If we were to go forward and simplify this, L would multiply by 2W, making 2LW. L would multiply by 2H, making 2LH. But now we have it off to the side. It's separated from all the other information through multiplication. This times all of this. So again, all we have to do now to get rid of 2W plus 2H, because all of this information is being multiplied by L, we use the inverse operation. We divide. Opposite of taking this and multiplying it by L, dividing by that information cancels it out. That means if I'm going to divide the right side by this, I need to divide the left side by this as well. So I'm going to take a division bar. I'm going to write 2W plus 2H over there underneath this expression. And now I have L all by itself, isolated on the right side. I'm going to take all that information on the left, bring it down. So we could take our surface area minus 2WH over 2W plus 2H. And now I have an equation, a formula for finding L if I only have the surface area, the width, and the height. So this would be something you'd want to do if you were given pieces of information and the one piece of information you're missing is the length, but you have the width, the height, and the surface area. You could then plug it into this formula to determine what your length is. Hopefully literal equations are making more sense to you. It's basically like a one variable equation, except now you got multiple variables involved. You're still inverse operating to isolate. Study hard and good luck on your upcoming test.